Tales of Mithrym.
Scales of Justice, read by Ennatos. Part 6, Resignation. What is going on here? This is not right. Elvin smacked his hand down on the desk of the warden station. The captain was standing behind it, a stern look on his face as he held his gaze hard on Elvin. It is justice, Lieutenant. It is order. Elvin stood back as he continued. Thieves are thieves and are all subject to the same laws and the same punishments. This is how we maintain the peace of this city. It is how we have always maintained the peace of this city. The man was just hungry, Elvin implored. He is a thief. Did he pay for the food? Did he take it anyway? He is a thief, and he will be tried and sentenced as a thief. Rest assured, we are not monsters. We will not starve him. But he will pay his debt to society in the mines, just as the rest of the criminals do. I will not be a part of this, Elvin continued. It is barbaric. It is draconian. How can a civilized country... Civilized is exactly what it is, Lieutenant. We are not barbarians. And do not dare look down your nose as if Angmar is so much more civilized than us. As if you were not running around with clubs and bones in your hands, long after the emperors of Connaught were philosophizing and dealing with the true questions of the world. I am sorry, but I will not be a part of it, Elvin fixed the captain. I resign. Me too, Ducky called from behind him. And me, added Derville. The captain sighed and shook his head. I am very sorry to hear that. It is not promising for a warden, or even a deputy, to question the law in this way. It raises questions of loyalty, of collaboration, and even of corruption. Are you siding with the criminals? Are you already working with them, perhaps? I may well need to report this. You know that is not the case, Elvin began. But the captain waved his hand dismissively and continued. I will, of course, inform your embassy, and we will have to take whatever action is necessary to prevent... All right. Elvin hit down at the desk again. All right. We are not rebels or insurgents, and we are not working with the criminals of the city. But we are... Hoping to leave as soon as you may, the captain took over. And certainly you have done great service in your time here. I am sure your momentary lapse in judgment will not prevent you from proving yourselves fully, so long as that is all this was. Elvin was crestfallen. Ducky growled slightly, and Derville dropped her face into her hand. Yes, sir. Elvin's voice was quieter now. I'm sorry, Lieutenant, I couldn't quite hear that. Yes, sir, Elvin saluted stiffly. A momentary lapse, that is all, sir. I'm glad to hear it, the captain smiled. And I'm sure tenacious teams such as yourselves, devoted to peacekeeping, would only be too happy to help out with the night shift tonight. He chuckled. Just to show your loyalty, you understand. Yes, sir. The captain turned to point at a map of the city hung on the wall behind him. Around it was drawn the outline of the city walls, and, beyond that, various nearby landmarks, including the docks to the north and the open countryside to the south. We have had reports of an attack made on one of the farms outside of the city. He pointed to the map. It is vital that we address the matter, as this farm is responsible for our main grain supply. This is a simple job. Find those responsible and report back to me tonight. No rings this time. Just a bit of detective work. The captain then picked up a set of papers and held them out to Elvin. You will get a part of your wish, Lieutenant, as this requires you to leave the city. A bit not far beyond her walls. You will, of course, be watched. so please do not prove my trust ill-placed by trying to flee. Simply attend the site and report back on your findings." Elvin saluted, and the three of them left the station. Once they were outside, Ducky punched hard at a wall. Cracks left behind caused a small amount of dust to fall to the ground. The street was quiet, though. The sun was setting, and the shops and market stalls were being closed for the day. The orange light of the sky gave a warmth to the buildings around them. They exchanged glances, but then each looked back at the warden station. "Let's just go," Derville said, and they left. The great gates of the city were still open, a host of wardens and Canothian soldiers posted at them, guarding closely those going in and out. The three of them showed their papers and, after a short delay, were allowed to pass through. The sky was almost black now as the sun dropped down below the horizon, but the moonlight on the ground was dazzling. They all stopped, momentarily caught in the calm of the open landscape after so many weeks being stuck inside the walls. The ground was arid and bare, but for a few patches of dense, dry ferns. In the distance they could make out hills and mountains, and, between themselves and there, several large farmsteads on the plains, each built next to a natural spring or reservoir. The one they were heading for was not far away, and they made for it immediately. High above, like a deeper shade in the blackness of the sky, they could make out the moving forms of the wardens, riding high overhead on their great beasts. The farmer was an older man, his beard gray to the point of turning almost fully white, and his bald head revealing his dark skin. He was clearing debris and moving various boxes and crates around the yard as they approached. "Are you the deputies?" he asked. Elvin nodded. The man looked concerned. "We just want to have a look around," Derville added. The farmer gestured to the buildings around him. "Derville, how about you check over the barns? Ducky, have a look at the fields over there." Elvin drew closer to the farmer. "Can you tell me what happened?" "There was a raid," the old man said with a shrug. "They got in last night." "And what did they take?" Elvin continued. "Take?" "Yes. Were they after the animals? Or maybe the grain?" "They didn't take anything," the farmer shrugged again. "Well, what did they do then?" Elvin asked. Derville came running over. "You should probably come and have a look at this," she said, pointing over to the barn. Elvin followed. It took him a moment to take it all in. The building had been quite badly damaged by the attack. Splintered wood was thrown about here and there. "This looks like an animal attack," he said, scratching his head. "But what animal doesn't try and feed at a farm?" "I think I know," Derville said, holding up a piece of the broken wood. It was covered in deep scratches, and a large patch had been burnt. "Wait, do you really think that it could be?" She nodded. "Dragons?"
Tales of Mithrym are written by Jimmy Clephane. Mithrym is a fantasy world built for the Dungeon Room role-playing game system. To find out more about the world of Mithrym, or to try out the game, go to www.mithrym.com.